Hello, I am back with another video. So I'm continuing from the last topic. We're talking about sex and how to deal with sexual urges. Now I'm gonna go in a different direction in the sense that, okay, the last video I talked about, how to manage your sexual urges as a single Christian, right? Because obviously we all know that sex is in the boundary of marriage. Now, some of us are struggling, right? And I'm just saying some of us so that everyone, because everyone, one way or the other, there is some form of struggle. Is either you were struggling and you found a way to go through it, or you're still struggling constantly. And this video is for those people, You need to realize that when you're trying to achieve a goal, when you're trying to live a certain way, you need to make it easier for yourself. I have this conversation a lot with my brother, who is now a pastor, actually. Pastor Elias, shout out to you. But yeah, we have this conversation a lot because, a lot of, especially guys, they're like, no, this is how we are. Guys are more sexual than women. Women can control themselves more than guys. And I used to say this, right? That when you know that this thing, you're struggling with it, what do? You build your life in a way that you have systems in place that helps you not to go beyond the point that you need to go. Okay, like I said, I don't want to take it the spiritual route because we already know the foundation of prayer and the word, but I want to practicalize everything that I'll be sharing when it comes to this topic of sex, because we need practicality now in this our generation, right? So what boundaries are you putting in place? Some of us, you're single or you're dating or you're just single. You're dating. What boundaries have you put in place? You're a girl, a guy invites you on a date and he's telling you the date is in his house and he lives alone. My sister, and most of the time these dates are in the evening. Yes, there are dates during the day or whatever, but what do you think is gonna happen? Like, what do you think is gonna happen when you take your two legs and you're going to that guy's house? Let's how would I put it? Let's be honest with ourselves. Yes, stop deceiving yourself. Like, you need to know you see, in this battle, this battle of the mind, know yourself and act accordingly. Because this person, your friend, goes and she spends a lot of time alone in private places with her partner, and she's like, no, it's fine, I'm not struggling, we haven't done anything. You too, you want to apply that, but you know yourself, you know that once there is a touch, there is a this, you're gone. My sister, advise yourself. My brother, you too, advise yourself. A lot of guys too are on this table. You know that you're not yet ready for marriage, as a Christian guy, but you get so close and entangled with a woman, and then you're asking yourself how you got there, why you're falling. My people. So the number one point I want to emphasize here is put boundaries in place. When you're dating, make sure that your dates are in public places. You're not always in a private, cozy type of environment, because that makes it easy for you to fall. It makes it easy for you to struggle with lust, right? And then secondly, we need a renewal of our mindset. A lot of our young Christians now, this generation, we are trying to mix God with vibes, right? We're trying to mix God with vibes. We're trying to mix God with, she's doing it and she's a Christian, she goes to church, so it's fine. renew your mindset. The Bible is clear. So I'm reading from, the screen of my computer. So it says, flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. That's 1 Corinthians 6:18, right? Flee. The Bible didn't say that you can manage. A lot of us, we want to play with danger, and we ask ourselves why you've now fallen into a predicament. And a lot of people, they want this lifestyle where, you're a bit promiscuous, you're this, but I go to church, I read my word. Get off that table. The Bible is clear. Sex is in the boundaries of marriage. Stop putting yourself in that position where no, it just happened once. Oh, it just tell yourself the truth, right? Renew your mind. Tell yourself, yes, sex is a good thing, but it's in the boundary of marriage, and I have decided to honor God with my body. So I am not gonna have sex with my partner, with my fiance, until they are now husband or wife, right? And renew your mind with the word of God. Stick to it. Once you're renewed here, the enemy doesn't have any other power now over you. If you've won the battle in your mind, your body will follow suit. My mom and even my spiritual, parents as well, they all have the habit of saying, you stop smelling. I think it's also a Yoruba adage as well, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me in the comment section, but stop smelling the food that you don't want to eat, right? Because once you smell it, even if you didn't want to eat it, once you smell it, the temptation is now stronger, which is what is happening in our generation of Christians now. You say that, yes, I want to honor God with my body, I don't want to have sex, but you put yourself in compromising positions with the opposite sex. You put yourself in compromising positions. Some of us even have the so-called bestie, friends with benefits. All these things, you are defeating the purpose. The purpose is you are going to live a holy life because you are honoring God, right? You're living a holy life because you are honoring God. So you need to decide. That's the word I would say. Decide that, okay, this is how I'm going to live. I'm renewing my mind, okay? And I am moving forward with this mindset. So no partner is going to come and change it. Or you went on a date, and when the date found out that, you are saying sexually celibate for the moment until marriage, and they start acting funny, and you start saying, maybe. The word of God is clear. The word of God is not going to change. If that person that you're going on a date with or you're dating, they don't agree, then I'm sorry, you're not supposed to be dating them in the first place. They are not for you. And you need to be quick to move to the next page. This is a non-negotiable. A lot of Christians now, we are negotiating on this table. Yeah, we're living our lives in a way that you're negotiating. But these are things that are non-negotiables for us as Christian singles, right? So decide. I will just keep it at 2 points because I don't want it to be over 10 minutes. Editing is a full-time job. I respect all content creators, everyone on this online business thing. I respect you. So yes, let's keep it going. We can do this. You can live a sexually pure life until you're married. Because a lot of people even think that once you get married, then you're not gonna practice sexual purity. Lies. Once you get married, the temptations are also gonna increase, and they're gonna change the type of temptations. Now you're dealing with, you know, attraction to those that you're not married to. Some, especially a lot of men, they deal with that because now when you're married, the single women find you even more attractive. So what are you gonna do if you haven't been sexually pure before marriage? You think it's in marriage that you are gonna be able to uphold those values? No. So God knows what he's doing when he already makes you live a sexually pure life before marriage, because he knows you will need it as well in the journey of marriage. So I will see you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe as usual. And yeah, God bless you. God keep you. And I pray that God sustains you in this battle of the mind, in this battle when it comes to sexual purity.